Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'd like to share with you some of the steps you can take as a videographer that will help you to work with so many brands and other people. When I was starting out as a videographer, one of the challenges that I faced was to find jobs that will help me support my financial status, but then also jobs that will elevate my career from one step to another. The first thing you need to take as a videographer is to always invest in your knowledge. One thing that so many videographers fail to understand is knowledge is one of the steps that will help you to connect with other videographers, but also with clients that would like to pay you the money that you are looking at. When you take time and invest in that knowledge, as time goes on, you'll start to see people giving you those phone calls, because everyone would like to work with someone who is knowledgeable, but few people would like to work with people who are not knowledgeable. So if you're a videographer who is just starting out in this industry, I advise you that try as much as possible that you take time and educate yourself. With more time, you'll start to see that people are going to appreciate what you share on your social media platforms, but then also those few who work with you will start recommending you to other videographers, and within no time you'll become a big deal in the area you live in, or in the video industry that you are in. So if you want to be a good videographer, if you want to be a videographer that has work always, try as much as possible that you invest in your knowledge, and within no time you will start to see phone calls coming to you when people are giving you work to do. The second step that you need to take as a starting videographer, and it will elevate you from being an idle videographer to a busy videographer, is creating a portfolio. So many people don't know, but a portfolio is like a CV for videographers. If you take time and you create the portfolio, that will help people who would like to work with you understand what have you done when you are starting out, or which works have you worked on, and they will see if you're the best choice for them. Now, someone who is starting out will ask me, now how can I create a portfolio when I don't have even work that I'm doing? Get passion projects. One of the steps that I took when I was starting out was to create a passion projects. I decided to reach out to potential companies that I liked. I decided to reach out to people I wanted to work with, and I gave them work for free, because I needed that work to showcase to people who asked me what I can be able to do. So try as much as possible that you get passion projects that you work on, and those passion projects can work as your portfolio, or those passion projects can work as your CV. And when people reach out and they want to see what you have worked on, those works will help you so much to showcase your skills and your ability when it comes to the videography industry and videography skills. Another step that you need to take to be hired by so many videographers or even potential clients is to align your social media platforms. Now, when we talk about aligning your social media platforms, it has to be intentional. So many people have social media platforms, but when you go on those social media platforms, you will realize that they are all scattered and they are disorganized. It is hard for you to identify specifically what they are doing and what they are not doing. So for you as a videographer, you need to identify where do you want to be, where do you need to niche down. There are so many categories of videographers. There are people who are videographers but they shoot behind the scenes. There are videographers who shoot adverts. There are videographers who shoot documentaries, and there are videographers who shoot movies. You need to niche down and understand which category or where do I need to fall. And once you're creating your social media platforms, or once you're organizing your social media platforms that you already have, you have this aligned on all the social media platforms that you're having, and this will help you to make it easy for people who would like to hire you. But as we are talking about niching down, you need to understand is that someone who is good will always be good, and people will see that despite the fact that you have niched down to documentary filmmaking, they'll give you jobs that cut across, because despite the fact that you decided to niche down to that specific category of videography, someone who is a good DOP, people will see it and they will invite you on different shoots. So if you want to become a person who is busy in this industry, try as much as possible that you align your social media platforms, and anyone who gets across or comes across your social media platform and is looking for a good videographer and a good creative, that will be easy for them to take you on for the next job. Now, one of the things that we used to do when we were starting out, that was in 2016, was to network. Networking is one of the very important aspects in any industry, be it in videography, be it in photography, or even be it in the professional work sector. Networking with other people that you do the same work with will help you to be known across the different areas, and also it will create a friend for you. There was a time when we didn't have cameras that we wanted, but we knew someone who would get us that camera that was fit for the job. There was a time when we needed specific gigs, but because we knew someone who would get us to those gigs, we were able to get into those spaces. So if you're a videographer and you're starting out, try and look for groups on social media, connect with people in those groups. Try as much as possible that you look around your area and see which photography and which videography events are happening in your area over the weekend. Move and meet those events, be around those events, network with people, network with fellow videographers. When you get onto a job and you find there other videographers and other photographers, try as much as possible that you network with these people. There was even a time when I was hired for a job, I made sure that I exchanged numbers with the people who were on the event. Before you know it, I had just sent them the pictures that I had taken of them. That was during the time when I was still a photographer, and that habit kept on going when I became a videographer. Among the people I would do this to, so many people were willing to hire me for their next birthday shoot, for their next documentary shoot. So try as much as possible that you network with fellow creatives and also people who are present on the events that you're shooting at. And as time goes on, your network will start to grow from one individual to many individuals, and works will also start coming in, either through those specific people or through their networks and connections plus a recommendation. So this will help your brand to grow over time. There is something I usually tell people who are starting out, and that is to create a YouTube channel, and that is to create a social media channel where they share knowledge. People don't know, but in this era of social media, sharing knowledge is one of the ways that will prove to people out there that you know what you're doing. It is one thing to be good at shooting videos. It is one thing to be good at editing videos, but it is completely another for you to be someone who educates others with the knowledge you have or with what you do. So sharing knowledge will help you to get out there. You never know who will see the video you are using. There was a time where institutions would reach out to me and they wanted me to teach their students videography and photography, and that came out of the videos that I'm creating on YouTube, on TikTok, and all these other social media platforms. Their videographers have been able to create a connection or to change from just being strangers to friends just because of this platform where I share knowledge. So if you're a videographer and you'd like to get network or you'd like to be known by so many people, try as much as possible that you start up a YouTube channel where you share knowledge, and within no time people will start to respect you because of that platform, and others will start hiring you because they trust the fact that you have this huge knowledge that you're sharing. That means that you have a good experience in what you're doing compared to someone who is just shooting a video. So try as much as possible and share knowledge that you have. And this is very important. So many people wait when they are professionals to share the knowledge, but one thing you need to understand is that when you teach other people, you yourself, you learn more than the people you're teaching. So you don't have to wait when you will become an expert. You just need to start with the little knowledge you have, because there is someone out there who doesn't know anything about videography, and what you know will help that person learn something or even get started with the videography skill. So try as much as possible that you open up that YouTube channel and start sharing knowledge with people out there, and this will elevate your career from one step to another. So many videographers will testify on this. DMing companies you want to work with is one of the things that we have all done, and it has helped us. Well, it is not an easy skill to have, because you need to DM as many people as possible, and you need to also learn how to craft that message that will make the person you're DMing stand out and also find interest into responding to you. So one of the ways you can get hired by other companies that you admire to work with is by direct DMing them, or even by sending them emails and you share them the work that you have done in the past. You remember the work we talked about as passion projects. Now, as you're DMing these companies, all these people that you'd like to work with, you can attach that passion project so that people can see what you can do. And like it or not, out of the 30 DMs you will write, you will find that 2 people can get back to you and they'll give you that trial project, or even they'll give you work to do so that they see if you are the right person they are looking for. So if you want to become a good videographer, if you want to become a busy videographer, try as much as possible that you DM people and you send them those emails so that they can hire you to do the work that you dream of doing, but in this time you'll be paid to do that work that you would like to do. Another step that you can take to be hired as a videographer is to always be intentional. There are so many videographers that you'll see who are all over the place, but when you look at their work, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. So you need to be intentional. What do you want to do? How do you want to stand out as a videographer? Yes, we understand you know how to use that camera, you know how to set that camera, but intentionally, what difference do you want to make in this world? Because if you have a direction, people will see it and people will hire you depending on the direction that you have as an individual. And that is one of the things, or one of the principles that make so many videographers stand out from others who are always idle, and you're seeing them collaborating with so many people, but there is no much difference that they are making in their works. So for you as someone who is starting out, one of the secrets that these professional videographers rarely tell you is being intentional. Try and understand, do you want to be someone who just shoots a video for YouTube? Do you want to be someone who shoots podcasts? Do you want to be someone who shoots videos that are of a documentary style, or do you want to be someone who shoots movies? So as you're starting out your career, you need to be intentional, and with time, people out there will start to see, despite the fact that people might not reach out to you immediately, but people will always see, and once the right time clicks, people will reach out and they will hire you for what you do, and your life will never stay the same. One of the tasks that I always carry when I'm shooting videos, some people rarely see it or even notice it, but they can feel it, is when I'm shooting any video that is given to me, I always try as much as possible that I stand out in the way I'm talking to people, in the way I'm shooting, and in the way I'm holding the camera, and in the way I frame camera angles, and in the way I edit. One thing that will help you to stand out from so many people is to always find a way where you're creating this style, where you're shooting and how you're engaging with people you work with. And like it or not, people might not say it, but people will feel it, that your work ethics and also your approach to videography stands out and it is different. So try as much as possible that you stand out on every video you create, and within no time you will create a style that no one else has. And as time goes on, people will start hiring you and people will start feeling comfortable to work with you as a videographer. Most people think they will collaborate with big companies when they get that huge CV. Most people think they will collaborate with those big companies when they are too good with what they do. But can you believe it that most of the videographers that work with these big brands, Coca-Cola and name it, all those companies that you admire that are very big, most of the people that work with these brands are not the best videographers, they are not the best editors, and they are not the best photographers, but they have one thing that stands out from the many good videographers, is that they decided to be organized, and also they decided to target those specific companies. So for you, as you're starting out, you need to target these companies. You need to stand out from the craft you're creating. And once you put yourself on, once you work while you're in that direction, trust me, you'll start working with these companies, or even you'll start connecting with people who work with these brands, and you'll see that, well, working with these companies doesn't really need so much of experience, but it needs discipline. So try as much as possible that you build your discipline. Try as much as possible that you stand out in the works you do, and within no time you'll start working with brands you want to work with. I've talked about niching down, but I need to emphasize this, that despite the fact that you can do all these other categories of videographer, you need to niche down and you need to lie specifically somewhere, or you need to belong in a certain category of videography. Despite the fact that videography is produced by using the camera, and right now you're working on understanding this tool, you need to also find a style that is really good when it comes to your workflow, and that style will give you direction in how you need to approach your craft and in how you can better your skills. And niching down will help you on how you need to approach your craft and how you need to better your skills as a videographer. The last solution, or the last skill that you need to develop if you want to be hired by so many videography companies, if you want to be a person who works with other people that you admire to work with, is to learn the problem of, or to learn the skill of problem solving. There are so many people who are not good when it comes to problem solving. That is the reason as why it is hard for them to work with other people. There are so many people, when things go wrong on shoot, they will sit down and wait for someone else to find a solution. Well, what if I tell you today that people would like to work with people who are good when it comes to problem solving? Because no matter how organized a shoot will be, there is always something that will go wrong. No matter how prepared the crew is, there will come a time when the card needs to be formatted and no one is sure if the content on that card was backed up or not. So you need to be someone who finds a solution for that problem so fast, so that the shoot can go on depending on the arranged time, other than someone who just looks on with no solution when problems surface. My name is Pasi Jagena. Despite the fact that I've talked about these skills, don't fear to always work on your skills, because the best videographers are not the ones that are taking the greatest deals in the videography industry. And also, as you're working on yourself, try as much as possible that you believe in the craft that you're taking. There are so many videographers who are good, but they keep doubting themselves. There are so many videographers that are so good, but they think when they get to Hollywood, that is when they'll be the best videographers. Try and embrace the skills you have right now, and try to embrace the society and community you are surrounded, and within no time you'll see how your skills will take you from one place to another. My name is Pius. If you have liked this video, don't fear to like and also to subscribe to this channel, because that helps the channel to grow. And also, if you have anything you'd like me to talk about, comment that in the comment section below. And if you have any other ways videographers can get themselves hired by clients they want to work with, you can also share that in the comment section below. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.